Hey, this is Jacob Meacham with the Alexander City Chamber of Commerce from Wind Creek State Park for the Carhartt Bassmaster College Series fishing tournament for another episode of Chamber Live.
Hey guys, my name is Hank Weldon. I'm the tournament manager for the Bassmaster College Series, and I also manage the high school series and all the youth aspects here at Bassmaster. And kind of quick history on how I got started. I started the fishing team in Alabama, but then went on to run the college series, and it's developed into a lot of other youth platforms here at Bass, and enjoy every second of it. Originally from Wetumpka, so this area is home to me, and I love being here, and excited to bring this college series tournament to this area. Yeah, you know, there's several factors that we look at when we choose our locations, and one's always the fishing, and Lake Martin hit on that. Another are logistics and facilities. And the one nice thing about Lake Martin, it is about as central as you can get within the Southern Conference, which is one of the reasons we have such a large field as we do. And easy travel from the 6 states that are involved in this conference. And the last thing is a very active host. You know, we need some place where we have a college where we can trailer to and weigh in, and that host helps us coordinate all of those different assets to where we can piece together a very smooth and fluent event. Yeah, I mean, I think the reception locally has been great. You know, I think the community can understand the size of an economic impact such as a fishing tournament, because I'm from Central Alabama originally, Wetumpka, and we know Lake Martin's such a huge recreational lake in the summertime, but in the wintertime, you know, people aren't really swimming much. So, you know, it's always a great filler economically to get through back to your busy season. So, you know, I think that stance has been good, but, you know, I'll flip that around and say we hope that we haven't intruded on anyone, and we've when I say we, I mean our anglers have made a nice presence and been respectful. We always try to drive that home to our anglers. You know, they need to appreciate the community, and I think they have really enjoyed it too. You know, we've had third parties when certain communities do, our communities do a third-party economic impact, and it approaches the 7-digit mark, and that's with tournaments that have been 100 teams smaller than this, so 200 people smaller than this. So I think, you know, we've gathered the data, and we're going to have to analyze it and you know, put a final number to it. But I think it's probably safe to say we're going to be well into that 7-figure range with the actual dollars that have been spent into the community. So it should be a nice, sizable economic impact for right here in Alexander City. What you've seen in the past is the college series. There's only 2 platforms at Bassmaster that have television, and the college series is one of those. We'll be capturing all this for ESPNU, and it'll air later in the summer. But what we also do with that is they sometimes become test markets with the college series, and there have been elite series events that have happened after a college event has been to that location. And you know, if it works for the size of a competitor base, like the college series, it will handle an elite series, which is a much smaller field size, but a lot more recognizable names in fishing, the Kevin Van Dams and Gerald Swindles of the group. So yeah, I think a long answer to your question, it's a very good chance that if you guys want us, we would definitely consider bringing a higher level event to this area. Right. Right.
Talk about the uniqueness maybe of Lake Martin and what maybe makes this a special lake.
Right. And yeah, being from Wetumpka, obviously I grew up on this lake, so it's very special to me. I think it's probably one of the most gorgeous places we go to. You know, you've got the beautiful clear water of Lake Martin. I mean, we had 3 inches of rain earlier this week, and the lake's already crystal clear again. And you know, the Pines is quiet, gorgeous homes, it's clean. You know, you can't hardly beat this area compared to anywhere else in the country. And from a fishing stance, there's not a lot of lakes where you can catch a trophy spotted bass and a trophy largemouth bass, and you can do that here. So it's a diverse fishery where anglers who are good at maybe catching one can apply their skills to that, and on the flip side, can apply their skills to catching another species. So it just accommodates multi-talented anglers or different talented anglers to where they're encouraged to come here, and I just think it has all the assets in place to attract some large fishing tournaments. And even if you don't like to fish in tournaments, just to fish or to get out on a pretty waterway, this is definitely a place you need to have on your bucket list.
Hey guys, it's Ann Rye, and I'm your Chamber of Commerce president here in Alexander City, Alabama. Boy, are we excited. All these bags that you see behind me, we've been preparing for quite a while now to kick off the South Series for Alabama Bass Trail. Super excited to have over 165 boats here this weekend. And the fishermen, the anglers that are going to be on our lake, well, we just can't wait to welcome them to Alabama and Alexander City.
Hi, I'm Kay Donaldson, Program Director of the Alabama Bass Trail and Tournament Series. You know, I've been fishing my whole life. I started when I was 10 years old, and I fished my whole life. And when the governor asked me to take this program and just kind of dream about it and decide what it was going to be, it took a while to decide what it was going to be, and then he kept adding things to it. But when you look at the God-given natural resources that the state of Alabama has and the dedicated conservationists that we have that participate in the bass fishing sport, it's just something that gets you fired up, and it's something that really lives inside of you. And being able to travel across the state and promote this sport and promote these fisheries and help develop different projects, boat ramps, and different things in the state is just an amazing job, and I'm thrilled to be tasked with it. The economic impact of the Alabama Bass Trail in its first year was $3.1 million. And as we've trained these anglers to really track their expenses and to report those expenses to us, last year we saw that number grow to $6.8 million to the state. That's just our tournament trail. Overall economic impact to the state of Alabama for freshwater fishing is around $957 million. And when you think about the hotels that they stay in, the restaurants that they eat in, their gas, the different snacks and baits and everything that they buy, it really does add up. One thing I think is very important, especially from a chamber perspective and a tourism perspective from my eye, is $237 million of that is food, lodging, and transportation. So it's a huge chunk of our industry and the tourism industry in the state of Alabama, and I think that's why the tourism department and the governor has been so supportive of the Alabama Bass Trail. When we first started the Alabama Bass Trail in 2012 and Lake Martin was not located on the trail, we had a lot of kickback and a lot of upset people. So we came to Lake Martin and we spent some time here, and we worked with the community to try to find out how we could get Lake Martin on here. 2 years later, a whole change of attitude and an aggressiveness that was led by the chamber, led by the community, that said, okay, we've made the changes, we've refocused, we really want to be a part of the Alabama Bass Trail, and we're going to do coordinated efforts along with you. And that really showed us that that this community wanted to be a bass fishing community. And I don't think it could be said better than to have a high school event a month ago, a 219 boat college event, and now to put 162 boats on the Alabama Bass Trail. I think it says hello to the community, and I think you're going to see a lot of people recognizing the impact from bass fishing.